The spirit drum of Mbala village. In the heart of Africa, nestled between rolling hills and golden savannas, was the village of Mbala, known far and wide for its rich traditions and connection to the spirits of the ancestors. Every year, the village celebrated the Festival of the Spirits, a grand event where the people paid tribute to the guardians of their land, the spirits that protected their crops, animals, and families. At the center of this festival was the spirit drum, an ancient drum made from sacred wood and animal hide. Legend said that the drum was a gift from the ancestors given to the first people of Mbala. It had the power to call upon the spirits, bringing their blessings to the village and ensuring a year of peace and prosperity. The sound of the drum was believed to be the voice of the ancestors themselves, echoing through the skies and calling forth protection from harm. But there was one rule: only the chosen drummer could play the spirit drum. This chosen one was selected by the elders in a sacred ceremony, and they were believed to be guided by the ancestors. For generations, this role had been passed from one gifted villager to another, each holding the responsibility with deep reverence. This year, however, something unusual happened. For as long as anyone could remember, the chosen drummer had always been someone well known in the village, an elder, a respected hunter, or a wise healer. But this time, the ancestors chose someone unexpected, a young girl named Nia. Nia was known in the village as a dreamer. She was quiet, often found wandering near the riverbanks, humming songs to herself or weaving stories about the animals she saw. While she was loved by her family, many villagers thought her too young and unprepared to be the chosen drummer. They doubted the ancestors' decision. The ancestors must have made a mistake, some whispered. How can a child like her carry the weight of such a sacred role? But the village elders, who had performed the ceremony and felt the guidance of the spirits, were unwavering. They stood by the ancestors' choice. "The spirits see beyond what we see," said Elder Bio, the most respected of the village elders. "They have chosen Nia for a reason. We must trust in their wisdom." As the festival approached, Nia was both excited and anxious. She had never played the spirit drum before, and she knew the expectations were high. She could feel the weight of the village's gaze on her. And though many smiled and offered words of encouragement, she could hear the doubts behind their voices. On the day of the Festival of the Spirits, the entire village gathered in the grand clearing where the celebrations took place. The air was filled with the smell of roasted meat, fresh fruits, and spices, while dancers moved rhythmically to the beat of smaller drums. Everyone waited in anticipation for the moment when the spirit drum would be played, calling the ancestors to bless the village. When Nia stepped forward, there was a hush. She approached the spirit drum, which towered over her, and she could feel its ancient energy humming in the air. Her hands trembled slightly as she raised them, ready to strike the first beat. Suddenly, a great wind blew through the clearing, rustling the trees and causing the villagers to gasp. Nia closed her eyes, breathing deeply. She knew this was no ordinary wind. It was the presence of the ancestors, watching, waiting for her to begin. With a deep breath, Nia struck the drum. The sound that followed was unlike anything the village had ever heard. It was deep and resonant, shaking the earth beneath their feet, yet it carried a melody that was soft and soothing, as though the drum was singing. Nia's hands moved in perfect harmony, guided by a force beyond her, and with each beat, the connection between the living and the spirits grew stronger. As she played, the sky seemed to shimmer, and the villagers felt the presence of their ancestors surround them, filling the air with warmth and protection. Animals from the nearby forests and plains appeared at the edges of the clearing. Elephants, antelope, and birds of every color, drawn by the power of the spirit drum. The doubts that had once filled the hearts of the villagers vanished, replaced by awe. Nia, the young dreamer, had become the voice of the ancestors. She had called them forth with a strength and purity that none had expected. The festival was a great success, and the blessings of the ancestors were clear. Crops grew taller, the village flourished, and the bond between the people and the spirits deepened. From that day forward, Nia was known as the keeper of the drum, and her story was told for generations. The people of Mbala learned an important lesson. the wisdom of the ancestors was far greater than their own, and sometimes the greatest strength came from the most unexpected places. Nia's legacy lived on, reminding all who heard her story that tradition was not just about the past, but also about embracing the future, and that the spirit of the ancestors could live in anyone, no matter their age or stature.